Once upon a time, in a quiet little village nestled between rolling hills and sparkling streams, there lived a curious young girl named Ella. Ella had soft brown curls, eyes that sparkled like stars, and a constant companion, a small, scruffy teddy bear named Teddy. Teddy wasn't like the other stuffed animals. His fur was worn in patches, his button eyes were mismatched, and one of his ears flopped a little. But to Ella, Teddy was perfect, just the way he was. Ella loved her teddy bear more than anything. He was always with her on adventures in the woods, during tea parties in the garden, and at night, when he snuggled close as she drifted to sleep. But what Ella loved most about Teddy was that he always listened. She could tell him her dreams, her fears, and all her questions about the world. One evening, as the sky turned shades of orange and pink, Ella sat on her bed with Teddy in her arms. "Teddy," she whispered, "do you ever wonder who you really are?" Teddy, of course, didn't answer, but Ella imagined he might have the same questions she did. Lately, Ella had been feeling unsure about herself. She loved playing in the mud, but also dressing up as a princess. She enjoyed drawing, but sometimes her drawings didn't look like the pictures in her head. She wondered if she was too loud, too quiet, too messy, or too different. Ella wasn't sure who she was supposed to be. That night, as Ella hugged Teddy tightly and closed her eyes, a soft, shimmering light filled her room. She opened her eyes to see a glowing figure standing at the foot of her bed. It was a tiny fairy with iridescent wings that sparkled like a million tiny stars. "Ella," the fairy said in a voice like a tinkling bell, "you've been invited on a very special journey. The rainbow mirror waits." "What's the rainbow mirror?" Ella asked, sitting up. "It's a magical mirror that shows you your true self," the fairy explained. "It's hidden deep in the enchanted forest, and only the bravest hearts can find it." Ella looked at Teddy, then back at the fairy. "Can Teddy come too?" The fairy smiled. "Of course. Teddy will be your guide." Before Ella could ask how Teddy could guide her, the fairy waved her wand, and suddenly, Ella and Teddy found themselves in a lush, magical forest. The trees glowed softly, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers and the sound of rustling leaves. Teddy, who usually sat motionless, wiggled out of Ella's arms and stood on his little stuffed legs. "Teddy, you're alive," Ella gasped. Teddy chuckled, his button eyes twinkling. "Well, only for this journey," he said in a voice that was warm and kind. "Let's find the rainbow mirror, shall we?" The two friends set off down a winding path that sparkled with silver dust. Along the way, they encountered all kinds of magical creatures. A group of singing butterflies showed them the way through a maze of golden bushes. A family of giggling mushrooms gave them riddles to solve before letting them pass. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, Ella began to notice something strange. The forest seemed to reflect her feelings. When she felt excited, the flowers around her bloomed in bright colors. When she felt unsure, the path became foggy and hard to see. "Teddy," Ella said, "what if the rainbow mirror doesn't like what it sees in me?" Teddy stopped and placed a small, fuzzy paw on her hand. "The mirror doesn't judge, Ella. It only shows what's already there. And what's inside you is wonderful." Encouraged by Teddy's words, Ella continued on. Finally, they reached a clearing where a tall, shimmering mirror stood on a pedestal of glowing crystals. The rainbow mirror reflected not just images, but emotions and possibilities. It was surrounded by a soft, rainbow-colored glow that seemed to hum with energy. Ella approached the mirror slowly, her heart pounding. She held Teddy tightly as she looked into it. At first, Ella saw her reflection, just as she was, her curly hair, her big, curious eyes, and her favorite pajamas. Then the mirror began to change. It showed her wearing a crown, leading an imaginary kingdom. It showed her laughing with her friends, painting wild, colorful pictures, and climbing the tallest tree in the village. The images shifted again, showing her helping a friend, sharing a hug with her parents, and writing a story about a brave girl and her teddy bear. As the images faded, Ella felt a warmth in her chest. "Teddy," she said softly, "the mirror didn't show me who I'm supposed to be. It showed me, me." Teddy smiled. "Exactly, Ella. There's no one way to be yourself. You're not too loud or too quiet, too messy or too different. You're just you, and that's more than enough." Ella hugged Teddy tightly. "Thank you, Teddy." As they stepped away from the rainbow mirror, the fairy appeared once more. "Well done, Ella," she said. "The mirror reflects what's already inside you. Now you know that your identity isn't about fitting into one box. It's about embracing all the pieces that make you unique." With a wave of her wand, the fairy whisked Ella and Teddy back to her cozy bedroom. The glow of the enchanted forest faded, replaced by the soft moonlight streaming through her window. Ella tucked Teddy under her arm and smiled. "Good night, Teddy. I think I know who I am now." Teddy didn't answer, but Ella could almost feel his button eyes twinkle in the dark. And with that, Ella drifted off to sleep, dreaming of adventures, possibilities, and the magical mirror that had shown her she was enough, just as she was. The end. If you're having fun with our stories, we'd love for you to join us for more. Just click subscribe and come along on every new adventure. Until next time. Bye-bye.